Hi there, I'm Hazel, a certified Zentangle teacher and an artist. Today I'm here with a few simple patterns for you to create stunning art pieces using Zentangle art. So let's get started. If you would have watched my past video, which I had posted on Valentine's Day, I had shared a few tools that I use for my work. Mm, One of which is Pigma Micron. You can use almost any one depending on the fineness you need in your art. So today I'll be using the 05, the black one. I also keep a 2H pencil handy for the outline, and for shading use a 9B pencil and also a charcoal white charcoal pencil. So let's get started with a simple pattern today. So to begin with, I am marking four corners on this Zentangle tile. This is a tile which is used for creating uh, Zentangle art pieces. You can use bigger ones, the bigger size, but this is good to go for a beginner. So just marked the four corners, and I'm creating an outline. As you can see, I'm using the 2H pencil so that I can choose to erase it later if required. So I begin with just creating a wave in the middle. So two parallel lines like a wave, and I use my Pigma Micron to create a C-shaped structure which binds the wave together. It's almost like I'm tying the two lines together. At almost an equal distance. Now what I want to do is I just want to work along this wave. So I just try to create a few parallel lines which run across. Don't worry about the uneven thickness of these lines, because as I told you last time in my last video also, there's nothing like a mistake in Zentangle art, and that's what is the best part about this art form. There's no one judging you. No one knows that you have committed a mistake except you yourself. So whatever mistakes you think you would have committed, they get camouflaged when we work on the shading. There you go. I would just like to add a few thinner lines, because since I'd used this 05, let me add a few finer lines here using the 02, just to add some volume to the sponge. So I work across the length of this wave. There you go. That's a fairly simple pattern, isn't it? So let's add some shading to this. So what I'm going to do is, the places where this wave is being tied together, just going to add a little bit of graphite in those areas. And I'm going to smudge the graphite using a cotton bud. So all I do is just spread it, not letting it come in the center, because that's where I want the highlight to be, just to give that 3D effect to this wave. And I work to the complete length. There you go. So as you can see, there's a slight 3D effect. That's our first pattern. Now I'm going to fill a little more of the paper. So what I want to do is mark a point here and just work a few straight lines from different parts of the wave to a common focal point. Yeah. Now, now I just do these zigzag patterns along these lines, forming a web-like structure, but going parallel to the previous lines that I'm creating. It's fairly simple pattern. You'll see where I'm going with this. The end result will be quite nice. There you go. Now I would like to color the alternate areas, so it forming a check like pattern. So colored this one, then I color this one, and I leave that. Now I leave this and I go ahead with this. Trying to fill every alternate segment and not leaving any white part, filling it with the black ink, letting the black ink seep in the paper. You go ahead with each of the segments. There you go. And now we're going to add some shading to this. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of graphite to this area here to give the zigzag or an elevated look. So what happens is when you work with your shading, you'll see that this area looks a little bit elevated and the effect is amazing. So you did so little to create such an awesome effect. See that? So that's the second pattern for today, and it's time for us to proceed to the third one, which is in this area. So let's see what we can do. Now to work for this area, I really like this pattern which goes into a spiral. So let's go ahead with that. So what you do is start with the center, stop, you're going spiral, but you are stopping in the middle, giving it a break, and the last spiral goes round. So I'm going to work on this pattern. To fill this complete area. I make a small one here. As you can see, this little areas where I'm leaving a space look like a small shiny spot because there's no ink. So here you go. I'll just be working on a few more to fill this area. Very random with the spirals. You can actually place them where you want. It's a quite versatile pattern that can fill up areas within no time. So I'm working on it very randomly. Maybe I want to place one here. and probably go across the border and just add a few more here. It's almost as if these spirals don't want to follow any rules and they just want to cross borders and make their place in every area they find. A small one here, and there you go. Now to shade these spirals, just a few more. Yeah. Before I go ahead with the shading, I would like to fill the areas which surround these patterns. There are small gaps between these mm, spirals. So just add a little bit of ink there to add some depth to your work, and then we can go ahead with the graphite shading. So now you're done with the spirals, and now what I would like to do is just add a little bit of graphite at the places where these spirals are meeting each other, and would leave the central part alone. Let that be white. That's how your pattern will be highlighted. So as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of graphite to the areas where these spirals are meeting, and just smudge it using the cotton bud. There you go. It creates an interesting effect. I really like working with a cotton bud. It really helps mm, spread the graphite with ease. And a cotton bud is very easily available. I mean, it's almost like you don't have a tool, but you have it. You always have it in your travel bag, so you can even doodle or do your Zentangle art while traveling. So it's quite easy that way. So as you can see, I worked on this, and that completes a tile. Just like to sign my initials here. So we've learned 3 patterns today. So I hope you practice them and try to create something unique for your loved one, probably a card or an art piece which you're working on. These patterns can be added to them. They're quite versatile. So thank you for watching my video, and hit the like button if you like it. Also subscribe to my channel Tangle with Hazel. I'm also there on Instagram and Facebook with the name of Tangle with Hazel. Thank you so much and see you. Bye.